Good morning. What's your reaction when someone else in your class gets an award? How do you feel when you try so hard to win something and someone else beats you to it? Are you happy for them? So this week we read about Balak and Bilam, two racists, two anti-Semites who hate the Jews. Balak hires Bilam, who's a prophet, hires him like a hitman to curse the Jews, but it doesn't go very well for them. So the Mishnah contrasts Bilam to Avraham. Avraham we're all familiar with. The great prophet, the great father of the nation, the famous person who invites the three angels into his tent even though he has no idea who they are. And the Mishnah tells us that whoever has these three traits is considered to be a disciple, a student of Bilam. And if you have these three traits, you're considered to be a student of Avraham. Here goes. So if you've got a good eye, if you're humble, and if you're content with what you've got, then you're a student of Avraham. But if you've got an evil eye, you look badly at people. If you're arrogant, and if you're greedy, then you're a disciple of Bilam. Balak is the king of the nation of Moab, and they're scared. The Moabites are scared that the Jews are going to overtake their land. And Balak the king knows that Bilam, this magician guy, he's got prophetic powers. So he hires him to do something about it. Now, if I were Bilam, I would probably have blessed the Moabites to do well. I want them to be able to hold on to their land, not to be defeated, to have peace. But that's not what he does. Instead, he decides, instead of blessing them, the Moabites, he's going to curse out the Jewish people. Now, obviously, that's not the way to act. But Bilam cannot see the good in other people. He cannot even see the good in his friends, in the Moabites, to say something good about them and to bless them. Abraham, on the other hand, Abraham's always looking for good in others. He even campaigns for the people from Sodom, the people who he thinks are wicked. He wants them to be able to survive. And the difference in our attitude is everything. Balak doesn't look for the good in other people, nor does Bilam. Abraham does. Some of you may have heard this story from me before, but I think it bears repeating. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev. He's a Hasidic rabbi. He comes out of shul one day, and along with his friends, he sees someone, a wagon driver, who's davening. He's wearing his talis and his tefillin, and he's muttering the words, but he's lying on the floor. And in his hands, he's got some grease, and he's greasing the axle of his cart. And the Hasidim turn around to Rabbi Levi Yitzchak and they say, Rabbi, look at this man. He's davening, and while he's davening, he's greasing the wheels, the axle. It's terrible. And Rabbi Levi Yitzchak turns around and he says, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. The people look at him, and he continues and he says, even while he's greasing the axle of his cart, he's davening to Hashem. It's all such a difference, a paradigm shift in perception, in seeing the good in other people. It starts by being happy for other people when they succeed. Let's ensure that we are disciples of Abraham, always seeing the good in other people.